everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I decided to do my first storytime video and I will be talking about the time I was in my first movie. So basically this kind of came out of nowhere. I always loved acting. I always wanted to be an actor. I actually have been doing theater since I was about 7 or 8, but I've been dancing since I was 2. And I always kind of wanted to get into film, but I really never knew how to go about it. And it just didn't really seem like it was something that was easily attainable. So one day I was on Twitter and I was going through just the news feed, and I happened to see a girl's tweet. Her name is Lukasiak, and she was on Dance Moms. And I happened to see her tweet saying that she just got booked for a new movie. And it was an independent sci-fi film. And I thought it looked interesting, so I decided to look the movie up. And I found that the film wasn't filming too far away from me, and that they were actually calling for actors to submit for being extras in the film. So I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't really know if this is for me. I don't know if I want to do this. It's a little far and I don't know. But then I guess I thought about it, and I thought that it was a really cool opportunity and I might never get the opportunity to be in another movie again. So I decided to submit my headshot and resume that I had for theater and see if I got an email. And I guess it was the next day that I did get an email saying that they needed college students for a couple of the scenes. So they asked if I was going to do it, and I responded yes. A day later they gave us the shoot times, locations, and wardrobe. So I got everything I needed, and you had to bring a couple of different items of clothing so that they could pick out what they wanted you to wear. So I packed up everything, and it was actually about like 3 hours away, and it was kind of far. It was in West Virginia, and it was kind of far, but I thought it would be a cool experience to visit another state, to see what it was like, and to be in a movie. So I decided to do it, even though it was far. So after I was packed up, I made the drive, and it was actually a really amazing drive. It was beautiful. I mean, for the most part, it was country roads and a lot of wooded areas, and it was just, West Virginia was so pretty. I didn't know how mountainous it was, but it was just beautiful. So I got to the first shoot, which I think it was on a Saturday, and it was actually only their second day of shooting, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was like the second day of shooting. So I got there, and I actually had 2 shoots to do that day. One was in the library, and then one was a classroom scene. And I'm not going to say too much about these scenes because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, and also I don't know if I'm like allowed to. So it's a scene in the library and a scene in a classroom. And the library scene was first, and I was there with one other extra actor, and then Chloe was there, and I believe that was the only actors that were there at that time. And everyone was so nice. So as soon as I got in, one of the assistants came to find me, and I went up. I met the director and the assistant director. I went downstairs for wardrobe and for makeup and hair, and they pretty much just like fixed up this. And then I went upstairs and we began. So everyone on the crew was super nice. They were so welcoming. Like, they were like, do you want anything to drink, or do you want anything to eat? There was a lot of food, which was awesome. While I was there, I actually ended up sitting next to Christy, who is Chloe's mom, and I had seen her on Dance Moms before, and it was actually really cool to meet her, just because I always admired her, just because she's always been so strong, and she always speaks her mind, so I just really admire her. So it was really cool to just be able to talk to her and have a conversation with her. So basically we just talked about film, and it was so amazing because she gave me such great advice, and she actually you know, told me what the day was going to be like, and she showed me like the side of the paper that they give the actors that day, with like all of the lines on it, and the times that we're shooting and locations, and basically just for the cast and crew to make sure they have everything ready and organized for that day. So she taught me all about that, and that was really awesome. And I got to see Chloe do a few scenes before, well, it was the same scene, but do a few shoots before it was my turn. And so basically when they were ready, I just sat down and I did what they told me to do. And it was a little bit awkward because the camera was like right here in my face, and I wasn't used to that, and it was a little intimidating. The director had to say like, be natural, and I knew that I had to be natural, but it was just so strange because at that point I think I was the only one doing anything. So like all the other actors were set up, but I was the only one that was doing anything in that particular second. So literally like everybody was just standing around me and there was a camera in my face, and I'm like, okay. So that was a little intimidating, but I feel like after like we had to do a couple takes. But after that I feel like I started getting more comfortable and it wasn't as scary anymore. So we finished the scene, and after that we had to go to the next place, which was the local high school, and we were doing a classroom scene there. So the classroom scene actually took a lot longer than the library scene because the library scene was really short and this one was a bit longer. So we arrived at the high school, and again there was lots and lots of food, which was really great because I was hungry, and there was a lot more extras there, so that was really cool because there was about, I would say about 25 to 30 extras there. I was actually able to get a lot of information from the other actors there, and they were able to tell me about different things that they did and how they got those jobs and just different tips and things like that. So that was really cool. And if you want a tips video, make sure to comment below and I'll give you a couple tips, what I learned on set. So they set up the scene, they blocked it, and then they put us all in places. So we were sitting in the desks and they were shooting the scene, and something that I was really surprised about was how long it takes to film such a short amount of screen time. So probably within this whole experience, I'll probably be in about 45 seconds of the movie, if that. And I was there for 3 days. So, yeah, so I mean, it just takes a long time. And the reason why it takes so long, and I've heard it takes a long time before, but the reason why it takes such a long time is because they want to get different camera angles, and they only shoot short segments of the scene at a time. So they might only shoot one line or two lines at a time, and then they do it from all different angles to make sure that they get the cut that they want. So we did that scene for like probably an hour or two, and then we decided to take, well, I guess they decided for us to take a break for lunch. What I really liked about working for this company, it was, by the way, it's called JCFilms, and they film a lot of independent films. They're super fantastic. One of their films just came out, it's called The Perfect Day, and it's actually about 9/11, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I haven't seen much of it, but I've only seen the trailer, but it looks really good. So I was very excited to work for them. After we ate, we went back up and we finished up the scene, and it was about probably like another hour and a half to 2 hours of filming that scene. I'm interested to know how long the scene is going to be, because I have a feeling it's only going to be like 4 minutes, and it took us like 4 hours and a half to film. But I mean, I was so sad when it ended, so I could have been there a lot longer. Like, it didn't bother me that it was so long filming it, because it was just so much fun. And the director was so nice. She would come up and say, you know, what are your questions, and you know, just like, I don't know, just keep us entertained as they were setting up for each shoot. She was really, really nice. She was great. I learned a lot from the film crew and everything like that. It was awesome. Everyone was so busy that day, so I didn't even get a chance to really say hi to Chloe or anything like that. And I wanted to say hi to her because I just admire her. I think she's really strong. She stands up for bullying, which I think is a really big deal. and it's something that I'm passionate about too. So I just wanted to, you know, tell her that I admired her and everything like that. So I talked to her after we were done shooting, and she was so nice. She was incredibly nice. She was talking to everybody that was there. A lot of people were coming up to her after we were done shooting. So she was really like kind and said hi to everybody. She was really, really nice. So that was awesome. So after that, we went home. And then the next day we had to film a medical scene. If you go on Facebook, you can see these pictures. They're up. And that one was really fun too though, because I liked being outside and it was just a different experience. After that scene, I went home because we were done for that weekend. So overall, it was an amazing experience. I didn't have a big role or anything like that. I was just an extra. But I think that it was such a cool experience to be in a movie and just to be on a movie set. And since then I was able to film another independent film and a commercial. And I guess it's been like 2 months since we did Loophole. And I don't think I would have necessarily had those opportunities or would have had the confidence, I guess, to go for those roles if I didn't already have the experience in this film. So like in the second film that I did, I was only in one scene, but I had a lot of lines in that scene. And I'm glad that I did the first film first because I didn't have to say any lines. I just had the opportunity to get used to being in front of a camera. And then I think that prepared me a lot for the second movie where I was already comfortable in front of the camera, so I was able to just concentrate on having lines in the movie. So that was really cool too. And if you're interested, I'll put the Facebook page of JCFilms and Loophole down below too. I'm really excited to see how Loophole turns out. I think it's going to be a really good movie. Again, I don't know much about it, but from what I did see, it looked really good. So that is the story of my first movie. And it was definitely an amazing experience. So if you like this storytime video, make sure to subscribe and like below. And again, all the information to the films are in the description link below. And I will be talking to you soon. Bye!